Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Stoicism is a philosophy focused on living a virtuous and peaceful life by opening your mind to alternate perspectives as well as understanding the dichotomy of control. The Stoic philosophers Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius practiced these principles daily, and their wisdom remains relevant to modern-day ways of self-improvement. Stoics understand that our own judgments cause our distress more than the event themselves. By reframing your perspective on a negative situation, you gain the ability to remain clear-headed and think rationally without your emotions influencing your thoughts and decisions. Understand that personal growth is not just about achievement, but also about becoming a better human being. By prioritizing virtue, we create a strong moral compass for decision-making and an inner confidence that isn't influenced by external up and downs. Understanding that living a virtuous life is both our greatest responsibility as well as the key to genuine happiness. Stoics encompass qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These qualities grant the ability for an individual to make rational and clear-headed decisions, as well as persevere through difficult situations without emotion getting in the way. Humans are often controlled and influenced by their emotions, resulting in irrational actions and dramatic thoughts. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, realized this and concluded that we suffer more often in our imagination than in reality. Stoicism is the key to end this suffering in our imagination and actually maintain an accurate and rational perception on our reality. To master your mind and master self-control is understanding what is called the dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control is known as things you can control and things you can't control, as well as accepting that the things you can't control do not deserve to be stressed over or overthought. Along with the dichotomy of control, Stoics understand that the power of perception and voice, what we perceive into our mind and output through our body, directly shape our energy and emotions. Perception and perspective are key principles of Stoicism, and understanding that it's not the actual events that cause negative feelings, but rather the way we perceive those events. Understanding the dichotomy of control allows an individual to see how much strength they truly have within themselves. Next time you're faced with a situation or event, ask yourself, is this something that I have control over or that I don't have control over? If it's something you don't have control over, understand that there's no reason to let it negatively affect you or your emotions. To master the dichotomy of control, you must master the states of you as a person. We've touched base on learning to control your mental state. Understand that your emotions are a result of how you subconsciously perceive and take in information. Do not let your emotions overpower you. Mastering self-control in your mental state allows you to take control of your emotions, no longer letting them dictate and influence your thoughts and reactions. Your thoughts and perceptions dictate what actions you take and the reaction you output. Understanding that your output releases a specific type of energy allows us to get into the importance of mastering your spiritual state as well. The power of perception and thoughts from your mental state dictate how you take in energy and output energy in your spiritual and physical states. Each one of these states is connected through emotions and feelings. If you can't control your emotions, you do not have control over these states of yourself. This is why finding inner strength and understanding that you have the power to control every part of what's inside of you. The reason your perception and perspectives are such a key factor in Stoicism is because the way you perceive interactions and situations directly correlate to your ability to control your thoughts and emotions as well as the rest of yourself. Without a positive and strong perspective, you lose the ability to maintain focus and think rationally, which creates an opening for your emotions to take control of your mind. Training your perception and perspective starts with self-awareness and the ability to question your initial instincts and emotions rather than immediately forming judgments and acting out irrationally. Next time you're faced with a difficult situation or event, take a mental step back and ask yourself, is my initial perspective positive or negative? Is it going to result in a rational or irrational decision? And are my emotions involved or influencing my thought process or perception in any way. Now, if you are perceiving something negatively, or your emotions are in control of your thoughts and decision making, you need to take the time necessary to clear your head and neutralize those negative emotions. This is when you cultivate that inner strength that you find within yourself and think back to the dichotomy of control, and if this is something worth stressing over, if you can't control it, or is this situation something that I can remove myself from, or am I stuck in this situation? And if I am stuck, what sort of experience can I take from this situation to benefit myself? There are more intelligent and positive ways to interpret something, regardless of how negative it might seem. Stoicism encourages viewing negative events as a source of opportunity or good. Remember that your reality is the result of your overall perspective. You will always win if the goal is experience. Losing gives us the opportunity to learn, resulting in a more advanced way of thinking. Learning is the evolution and improvement of our mind. Philosopher Marcus Aurelius had teachings on harm. He said that harm only exists if it's considered as harm, meaning if you perceive and see something as negative, it will be negative. Understand your perception dictates your thoughts, which dictates your reality. Your perception is directly linked to everything about yourself. Marcus also talks about how the severity of difficult experiences is determined by how harshly they are perceived, which links back to how powerful perception really is. This also links back to what Seneca realized on how humans suffer more often in their imagination rather than in reality. We tend to think with our emotion rather than our actual minds, which results in overly dramatic thoughts and perception. Last thing Marcus covered in his teachings on harm is that individuals have complete control over how much any situation affects them. Understanding and keeping in mind that you are your biggest enemy, you have the strength to control and dictate every single thing about yourself. Become a genuine, better person in life, seeking virtue rather than sin. Studying and applying Stoicism to yourself and your life allows you to master the art of self-control and inner strength. You are a slave to no one, not even your own thoughts and emotions. Stoicism is about a lot more than just the principles that we're focused on in this video, but as a channel centered around self-improvement, we're focusing on the aspects and principles of Stoicism that you can practice in your life to further develop and improve as an individual. So in terms of self-improvement and in terms of becoming better and achieving the goals that you want to achieve in your life, practicing these principles within Stoicism will allow you to improve more effectively as a person and more efficiently towards reaching your goals. The main focus of this video was to shed light on the self-improvement and self-control aspects of this philosophy known as Stoicism. There is so much more to this philosophy, more than just aspects of self-improvement and self-control. If you've seen my previous videos, you can see a connection between every single topic that I cover and how it's focused on self-improvement and how you can use these different principles and practices to benefit you in every way of life. Not only that, but a theme within all of these topics and all of these practices is that applying and executing these practices and understandings properly all depends on your mindset and what you believe you have the power to do. Your mindset and the way you think is the most important thing about yourself. It's what dictates your reality and the life you live. And understanding a philosophy like Stoicism that allows you to harness your inner strength and master your mind is something that I believe is so important for people trying to pursue a life of virtue and peace, as well as a life of success and freedom.